Hollis, Wright and Clay, PC. Right after a wreck or an accident is not the time to find a lawyer. That's a decision you want to have checked off your list before any emergency happens. This morning we're getting some expert insight. Josh Wright is managing partner at Hollis, Wright and Clay. Welcome back, Josh. Great to see you.
Thank you so much, and thank you again for having us on.
Of course. Now, when it comes to legal advertising, I think we've all seen these commercials, and it seems like it's a crowded space, right?
Well, it's not just a crowded space. It's a bit confusing, honestly, because you and I see the same commercials, and sometimes I think we see those commercials. We're like, hey, look, who's best for us? What group should we go to? Do we need to go to a large group, a local group? And so hopefully we can unwrap just a little bit today of some of the tricks of the trade, if you will, on the things that you need to do if you need to find a lawyer.
That's good to know. And how does Hollis, Wright and Clay, how do you differentiate yourself?
You know, I think it comes from 25 years of experience. With several different factors, one of which is I think we have the best bedside manner in the industry. And you look at bedside manner related to physicians, but it also applies to lawyers. You want your lawyer, in order to be able to properly advocate for you, to be able to return calls, texts, and emails. We found over the period of time of 25 years that being able to communicate with our client is really, really important. If you see lawyers, for example, that can't return a call, someone can't talk to their client, the number of times I hear that is pretty unprecedented. You say to yourself, that's just not normal. So you want someone with a good bedside manner. We also have hired a team of 10 lawyers that crave to go try cases. And that doesn't mean, Catherine, we try every case that we have. But what it does mean is the insurance companies and corporate America understands that we're going to go try those cases if we don't get maximum value. So it allows a law firm to be able to increase the value of their cases. And those are just two of the things that I think we do really, really well and have over the last 25 years.
That's good to know. When it comes to choosing a lawyer, what questions should people be thinking of?
That's a great question. You know, your intro was you need to do this work on the front end before you even need it. And I think there's some truth to that. You know, over 25 years, just listening to clients, dealing with clients, and managing cases myself, I've learned a series of questions I think you can ask if you are trying to find the right law firm and you're looking in this crowded and somewhat confused space. You're trying to say, hey, look, how do I find the law firm that is perfect for me? There are a couple questions. Question number one would be not to ask the person that advertised on TV that you went to, but the person that's actually assigned to your case. Do you personally, again, not the person advertising, you personally, do you litigate and try cases on a daily basis in courts here in Alabama? That's an important question. If they can't answer that question correctly for you, I think you need to look somewhere else. Number two, I think you need to look and determine whether or not they have a track record that is close to, doesn't have to be 100%, but close to 100%, because those people are selecting the right cases. You want to know if someone selects your case, it's a viable case where someone can be successful. And then in addition, show me 4 or 5 examples over the last couple of years of cases, lawyer that is managing my case, that you had where you had success, and give me some examples of that. You ask those questions, you're going to be able to work your way through ensuring and maintaining that you have the right counsel.
That's wonderful. Doing some research here on the front end to make sure that you find the right fit for you and someone who's going to advocate for you.
And not just that, these are questions that you should not be offended to ask. You should not be afraid to ask those questions. Ask those of your lawyer. We have 10 lawyers at our firm. Every one of our lawyers can answer those questions. You want to go to a firm that is willing and craving to go answer those questions for you.
Good to know. Josh, you're obviously passionate. So what is it about your job that you really find meaning in?
Well, I mean, I think we all find meaning in different ways, you included, in what you do. You know, whether it's an individual, a corporation, or an entire industry that we are taking on, we're just up for that challenge. And I have always been ready for that. And we've assembled a team of lawyers that crave to litigate cases and try cases and provide a great bedside manner to people. It makes me wake up every day and want to just manage our law firm, but also want to be active in litigation myself. And so, you know, a lot of times we're representing people and they may not even know we're representing them because we're doing something that helps industry that ultimately will benefit them. But that's just part of the process we use at the firm.
Good to know. Quick question before we go. When is it time to find a new lawyer, a new law firm? What are some signs?
Well, signs, communication obviously is number one. If someone won't communicate with you, what I'd recommend that you do is this, and I think this is really simple. We're not advocating you just come to our law firm. There are a lot of great law firms out there. If you're not having good communication with your lawyer, you need to give them one additional opportunity. And I believe adds an ultimatum. The ultimatum is, hey, look, I'm either going to move firms if you can't communicate with me, or I'm going to report this conduct to the Bar Association. You have that right as an individual if you can't get some level of communication with your lawyer. And if they don't respond after that, then it's time to move firms. And like we always say, you don't have to come just to our firm. There are awesome firms out there. But get to someone that's going to have a bedside manner that helps you litigate your case and that you're confident working with.
Good information this morning, Josh. We appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Catherine.
My pleasure.